At this point, there is no separation between your career and politics. Everybody's fan base is made up of Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ+, women, and people who genuinely believe their future is riding on this election. They deserve to know who you are supporting, and if you can't tell them, then that sucks.
Support good, smart, kind, loving people who actually like you and want you to have rights, and that's all we need to know. Goodbye. Watch who you see staying silent about things. There's a lot of people I follow and who I admire who seem to not be talking about anything related to the debate or anything like the election, and not encouraging their followers to vote or whatever it is. It's very frustrating. So just like be aware of who you follow. I'm having a hard time with a lot of people that I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't think you're spreading the right messages, but whatever. It's just be aware that silence is a lot worse than we think. It's a lot more telling than you think. Okay?
Why am I on this app ever? It just feels like the world is a vampire. Really not want to talk about faith and religion publicly, because I don't think that it's a conversation that should be had in blanket statements. I think that it's personal for people, and sometimes that personal choice is to not have faith or religion at all, and I respect that, and I've been there for multiple seasons throughout my life. I live in the South, and grew up in a conservative Christian family. Grew up for a lot of my childhood in a Southern Baptist church. And I guess I just feel, after having conversations with some people in my family, and especially my mom, hi Alf, I just want to encourage you, if you grew up in the church, if you grew up thinking like, okay, well, if you're a Christian, you have to vote this way or that way, that's not true. Search your heart. What do you really believe in?
Is there just not even a speck of heart or humanity left to be expected in American politics? Our current president has ushered in new waves of hatred and heartlessness and all business-type machismo that continues to derail us further off course. For too many reasons to list, I am voting for Biden. The only other option is to continue being led by a narcissist who pretends to care about any group, any state, any due process, or any future for any one of us but himself. This has been proven time and time again. What more do we need to see or hear from this man? I just wanted to state my beliefs publicly, but Biden is the best option we have right now. I've had trusted friends encourage me to be forthright about my stance. At this point, it does feel like a more responsible use of what platform I have than to just say please vote. So, for anyone who is still unsure where I stand, here is where I stand. Respect and hope for all of you. Thanks for reading. This is the most transparent pandering to conservative Christians in swing states. I beg you, as someone who grew up in the church, who continues to examine, build upon, and deconstruct the faith and beliefs I keep, please search your heart to decide whether this man is actually pro-life or whether he is just pro-whatever he needs to say to make valuable voters believe he has morals. He is desperate now to keep up the illusion of being the Christian's candidate. What I have learned about the life of Jesus Christ is that he and his closest friends loved radically. He lived to make known those who were unknown and unseen. He advocated for immigrants, he condemned the self-righteous and greedy, he respected women. Search your heart again. No matter what you believe, how you were raised, and where you stand with religion or faith of any kind, there is no world where Donald Trump would be an example of God as Christ's love and legacy.
Now I'm gonna be the change. Gonna start with my heart. Gonna be the light.
40% of people didn't vote. So that's just encouraging you to vote, because 60% of people voted in that 2016 election. 40% of people did nothing. So please register to vote. Also, I've seen a couple people post about Joe Jorgensen and like voting libertarian or voting independent or whatever. Please don't do that. As you saw in the last one, that was like 5% of voters. That's just not a viable option. I understand some people middle of the road and they want to support that and like, oh, if everybody just voted independent, one day they'll win. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's unrealistic, and a vote for any of those people is a vote for Trump. So sorry about that. I have some more thoughts on voting independent, because a couple people were DMing me, so I want to explain a little further. People vote independent because it makes them feel a certain way. It's not about the future of the country, because it isn't going to do anything. The fact is, America has always been and probably always will be a two-party system. That's just how it is. It's either going to be Republican or Democrat. So voting for somebody who 5% of the country is going to vote for, it's not going to change anything. Like, it's not like one day everybody's going to wake up and vote independent and like this election's going to change it. It's just not going to happen. Most people in this country are either left or right. There's not a lot of the middle ground. So voting for Joe Jorgensen is literally the equivalent of me writing Chance the Rapper. The main thing is, if you're somebody who would either vote for Biden or independent and you choose independent simply because you don't agree with everything he's done or everything he says or whatever, it is a vote for Trump. That's just a fact. And also, it's about you. Like, you're making it about yourself because you're saying, I want to feel good about my vote, so I'm gonna vote independent because I don't like Joe Biden. But that's not thinking about marginalized communities and people who are actually at risk, immigrants. Like, that's not thinking about people who need Donald Trump to be out of office. It's just thinking about you feeling good about whatever you put on your ballot. But I'm just trying to get across, if you would vote for Biden or independent, you need to vote for Biden.